Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Trails the Third. Yes, last time we did finish the entirety of the story of Trails in the Sky the Third. We just have two little things we still need to complete. Because the reason we did not do it, because we were warned that there would be slight lore spoilers ahead of the end of the game. So, as always, I trust you guys. That's what we do. So we made a separate save that as soon as we're done with the game, we could go back to it. And that's where we are right now. This is the location just before we talked to Celeste to go into the RC. And the only two things we have left to do here is one memory door and the arena. So I've decided I'm gonna spread those over 2 episodes. Today we're gonna do the memory door. And next time we're gonna do the arena. And after that, we will be done with Trails in the Sky the Third, and we'll be moving on to the first game of Cold Steel. And of course, like we discussed this multiple times before, what we're gonna do after that first part, we'll leave it up in the debates in the comments whether or not we do the second as well, and then move on to the 2 crossbow games, because I'm hoping roughly around, let's say November, December, when we're done with then Cold Steel 2, and if the second crossbow will still come out in February 2023, we should be able to flow right into that, and that would be perfect. So, but for now, 2 last things: memory doors, and of course the arena. And the arena is the one thing I'm dreading the most, because apparently the nightmare mode is like the super fight in this game, so it's gonna take some trouble, but we'll give it our best, and if I can't do it, I will. If I can't, you'll see it, but I'm not gonna give up before we have even tried. So, for now, let's move on to door 14. This one we already did. There it is. Star door 14. I don't think there's a specific requirement for a person to be here. I think it's just having done all the doors except 14. So let's try it. All is one and one is all. All begins with one and in the end it returns to one. Only when you have released all of the other doors shall this one open. And it did. The last door. It's been such a journey through all of these, isn't it? As I grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. Ooh. Starts off intense already. The destruction of the Aureole. It was a brilliant showing at the time. I wonder if we're gonna see something that happened in the background that we couldn't see during the main game. Maybe we're actually gonna see the moment that the Lord of Phantasma was created, became alive, sentient, and created the planes. Still trying to look if I can see one small tiny cube light up in the middle of all that stuff. Can you imagine if any of this was happening above mainland? That would be such a destructive force. Yeah, but for now it happened above Valeria Lake, so the only victims are the fish that were living in it. Hey, Blue Blank. Don't just stand there. Say something. Why should I be the one to break the silence? Words have no meaning in the face of such a splendorous sight. All there is for us to do is to be overwhelmed and be awed by the spectacle before us. Bah. The others still haven't come back either. Kinda crummy ending to this whole shtick, huh? Ren left the city and has since departed this region. Luciola is missing, but no good can come from us fretting for her safety. Oh, no worries on that front. Just think I'd be waste for a woman like her to die so early. So you know, here's hoping she didn't lose her life for nothing. I quite agree. As for Lowen, I fear the odds of him making it out alive are non-existent. Yeah. Damn it. If I'd known this was gonna happen, I would have finally made him fight me. He was always finding excuses to get around it. Well, unlike us, he had a clear and specific purpose for taking part in all of this. And it looks like he may well have been able to achieve it at that. Though he met his end, I have an inkling that he at least is satisfied by the ending to his story. Hard to believe it's all over. Well, for you guys over. I think Ouroboros has just started. What? What's happening? I thought we were going to use that floating city to rule Liberl. Then we were going to use it to rule the whole continent. So why is this happening? This wasn't supposed to happen. Wait. Did anyone ever actually say we're gonna do that? Or was I just thinking it on my own? I was, wasn't I? Ah! Oh, I hate my life. Bobby love, yours, Gilbert, all your suffering is pure entertainment, isn't it? All I seem to do is get humiliated by them and abused by the Lord Campanella lately. And then on top of it all, this happens? Oh, just what have I all been doing? Yeah, and I do believe that Campanella is such a bigger play than we all realize in the Trails in the Sky series. Oh, Lord Campanella. I'm relieved to see you well, sir. Just because of the sheer fact that he decides not to intervene a lot in the whole process. Like, he's only there to observe, meaning he's all above that. All that Ouroboros and Wiseman were doing here, he was not meant to interfere, he was just to observe, see how they were doing, how the plan came to be. So yeah, there has to be a big future for this character in the other games. I'm sure of it. The same to you, fine gentlemen. I'm thoroughly impressed with your work ethic. It takes guts to dedicate yourself to your duty even at a time like this. You should see what's happening outside. It's a sight to see, you know. All the mirror in the world couldn't buy you tickets to see a show like this. Incredible. You're not too late to check out the show if you head out now. Why don't you go take a peek? I won't tattle. We couldn't possibly. We wouldn't dream of abandoning our post without permission. I suppose you wouldn't after the training you've been through. Well, no matter. Now, mind letting me inside? I've got something I need to take care of in the sanctuary, you see? Sir, but we've been ordered not to let anyone inside without the professor's permission. Even you, Lord Campanella. Well, he's dead and you'll be if you won't let me through. I don't think I can get a dead man's permission now, can I? What? But that's just not possible. Oh dear. Is my word worth that little to you? I'm hurt. Maybe I should just have a little fun with you like I always do with darling Gilbert. That might make you a little more inclined to have more faith in me. We weren't. We never once doubted your word, sir. So you need not trouble yourself on our behalf. Oh, that's lovely to hear. Well then, why don't you go outside and watch the show like I suggested? You're under no obligation to guard the supply now that the man who ordered you to do so is no more. Gladly, sir. Good luck with your business, sir. What is he going to do? Is he gonna steal like information or something? They may have served their purposes now, but it seems a terrible waste to steal their memories and toss them out like garbage. Maybe I should put them under my command. Yeah, because trust me, good help is really hard to find. And they did serve their purpose. They did what they were told. They kept standing guard, and only when hearing the information Campanella gave them, they gave that up. So like I said, pretty good employees. Even all the noise going on outside can't reach this far inside the ship by the looks of it. Just as well. I couldn't fulfill my role otherwise. Requesting access. I, Enforcer number 0, Campanella the Fool, hereby request access to the celestial globe in place of the third Anguis, George Wiseman. Ooh. A virtual reality environment. That's impressive. We've been waiting for you. Already here, I see. Are we gonna see the council? The people that are on top of this entire organization? Or just voices? Let me guess, the empty chairs from Wiseman. I certainly never envisioned that the Faceless would perish. Poor thing. All the trouble he caused his old friends finally caught up with him. So, how exactly did he die? I'm simply dying to know. Oh, I wish you could have seen it. The poor fellow was turned completely to salt, from the top of his head to the tip of his toes. And then it all came crumbling down into itty-bitty pieces. Oh my, what a chilling way to go. I do wish I could have been there to witness it myself. So he fell victim to the result of that singularity in North Ambria, did he? Huh, I would have loved to have seen the real thing when it first appeared. Would have seen that coming. The guy never seemed to let his guard down even for a second. I imagine it was the work of a Dominion, almost certainly the 5th, the position everyone previously believed to be vacant. Ah, right. Guess that explains why he screwed up. So what's the 5th Dominion's name then? Kevin Graham. He calls himself the Heretic Hunter, and he studied under the one and only Carnelia. Seems like a real riot too, twisted in all the right places. He studied under Cornelia now? Now I'm even more interested in him. You've got to be kidding me, Abyss. After how into Lionheart you were, you're not even going to mourn his loss for more than a second before setting your eyes on a new guy. Oh my, you've got me all wrong. I assure you that I'm mourning Leon's death in my own way. He's not a man I'll likely ever forget, especially as I could never get him to show even the slightest hint of interest in me to the very end. I'm getting an idea that the second Anguis is female. Indeed. He truly was a skilled swordsman. His loss will be keenly felt. He was one of the only among the enforcers who was able to cross blades with you, I believe. Certainly of those I have fought against. I often ask him to humor me with my training. I've always felt as though there was a chance he may surpass me as a swordsman one day. It makes knowing he lost his life before having a chance that much more difficult to bear. I'm having a strange thought. What if one of the Anguish is actually someone we already know and ultimately really respect? Can you imagine that? I'm not saying this is, but just for an example, what if Cassius was one of the Anguish? Because this is the one thing I wonder, if all of them know about each other's identity. Can you imagine if something like that would be the case? That would blow my mind. I think it's impossible, to be honest, but something in that regard, like one very famous person we know and respect, then suddenly be part of the Anguish here. I could get behind that. In my opinion, the loss of the Blade Lord isn't all that significant when you look at the bigger picture. A tiny predictable loss in our overall combat capabilities. Now, the loss of the Angel of Slaughter will have much more of a long-term impact. Oh, the chick with the scythe. I wonder if she'll come back in the end. She seemed pretty confused. That's a decision for her and her alone to make. We may be above them in the Ouroboros hierarchy, but doesn't give us the right to order them around. That is the way of this society. But still. Professor, of all us here, we are well aware of the importance of the Gordia series, but this is a law dedicated by the Grand Master. Surely you are aware of what that means. You only need to look at Wiseman's obsession with that black-haired boy to see what can come from being too fixated on someone. Indeed, that very obsession proved to be his undoing. Isn't that right, Campanella? You could definitely argue it was one of the factors that did lead to his failure, yes. Captain seemed like he was trying to use it to his advantage too. Alright, I'll drop the issue. But know that as long as the 13 factories are in my care, the Gordia series will be of unparalleled importance to me. So I'll be keeping an eye on her from here and observe how well the one she has is functioning. Certainly, we'll leave that to you. I believe that we've talked for long enough. The time has come for the Grand Master's advent. Is that so? How thrilling. Just because you're a bigger flame doesn't mean you're more important. Ah, I see you've all gathered. Yes, Grandmaster. With the exception of the third Anguish, all are present and accounted for. Very good. You deserve my thanks for observing all that transpired as my representative, Campanella. I am pleased to hear as much, Grandmaster. I imagine you are already aware of what transpired during the Gospel Plan, even without me relaying the details. But allow me to fulfill my most important duty. Oh my. So that's the Aureole. The Aureole was not the cube? Or did he steal a part of its energy? Thank you. If only the price we paid to obtain it weren't so great. Wiseman, Lionheart. To say nothing of the countless other sacrifices, both human and otherwise, that arose through this plan. I, and I alone, bear responsibility for each and every one of them. That's simply not true. Please, do not place a burden of blame upon yourself. The faceless one was at fault for his death. But if anyone should take the blame, it is we Anguish who chose to overlook his behavior rather than steer him back on the right track. No, I half expected that this would be what would happen. Yet, I chose to leave all of the decisions in his hands. I did so because I believed that to be necessary for this world, but, nonetheless, the blame is unequivocally mine. Oh, Grandmaster, why must you blame yourself so? There will be inevitably be a reaction to what has happened in time, but I imagine the Church will act regarding that. Let us leave the matter to them. As you wish. I must admit that my curiosity is piqued, but it shall be as you desire. In that case, what should all of us do now? The bells in the west have rang, and the first pact applies no more. I hereby proclaim the completion of the first phase of the Orpheus final plan, the Gospel Plan, and the initiation of its second phase, the Phantasmal Blaze Plan. Very well. Leave everything to us. We, your loyal Anguish, in accordance with your wishes, shall now fully devote ourselves to the execution of your plan. So it's time for the Phantasmal Blaze Plan to begin, huh? The stage is set, at the very least. It's going to utterly dwarf the Gospel Plan in terms of both quality and scale. Things are finally about to get interesting. Yeah, and it does seem that the Grand Master is collecting all the elements, isn't he? For some greater purpose we in no way or shape can imagine what it is right now. By the way, I might be the last person you want to hear this from, but would you mind stopping the whole peeping in thing, mysterious stranger? Oh, that I really liked. Fourth wall breaking in a game, I love it. Unless it's talking about someone else but us, which is of course a possibility, but for now, I'll take it as a fourth wall breaking moment. Definitely. Brilliant crown. 30,000 mirror? Alright, that is the 14th door over and done with. As I already imagined, it's not a very long episode today, but I think by dividing it over 2 separate episodes, one for the memory, one for the tournament, I think it will be just right. Because the tournament, we have multiple difficulties, including Nightmare mode, and that's gonna take a while for me to get done. So that I think would be a normal lengthy episode, just like what we wanted. And with what we've seen here, I can totally get the suggestion of doing this after the game, because this is basically the overarching stories of the Legend of Heroes, I imagine. Like, we're seeing all the important people in Ouroboros talking about what to do next, what is going on, see the power of the Aureoli go to the Grandmaster in some which way or form. So yeah, very important story-wise in the overarching perspective. Not so much for Trails in the Skies, Cold Steel, Crossbell, or all the other games that are coming or are here. Is basically, this is the red thread through the entirety of the series. And this is the start, and we're going to end when they have it all. At least if everything goes to their plan. But that's where we, the players, come in. We are here to stop them. To make sure this side of good wins instead of Ouroboros. But yeah. So for now, I'm gonna leave the episode here. Next episode will be the arena. And we'll see how far we can get with that. But I am fairly confident we can have a good shot at Nightmare mode as well. So that will be next time. Until then, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure to be back here to see how far I can get. Bye bye.